Whoa, who's that girl? But anyways, that is Ema Bessho. She's actually from the new Yu-Gi-Oh! V-Reigns anime, and she plays a archetype called the Altergiest, which we'll be showing off today. But anyways, I want to say that this is an anime-inspired deck, so some of the cards you guys will see later on are anime cards, so they're not legal in the game. But anyways, like I said, this is an inspired anime deck from Ema Bessho. Shoutouts to Tsubasa for hooking us up with these plays. Now, this is also my introduction to the Altergiest. It's a new archetype out in the game. Now, they do have Link Summon support. The guy just tried to pull off Cyber Dragon Infinity, but the Altergiest Silkitas over here is able to actually bounce back cards. So I'll kind of go over all of their effects. We see Magical Dimension. That's a classic card. But anyways, he goes ahead and goes for the Azure Eyes Silver Dragon via the effect of the previous Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, but he got completely destroyed by Magical Dimension. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this is my introduction to the archetype. So as far as I understand, the archetype is definitely oriented around kind of a stall playstyle until you get this card called Meluseek, and he just kind of attacks your opponent directly and starts getting rid of some cards. I don't think this is necessarily a deck that can OTK, but you can kind of do some things, and it does have Link support, although I don't think it's really required as of right now. If they get some other Link cards that are really good, I'll definitely showcase that off in the future, but we don't have the Link summons available in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro as of right now, but we will get them later down the line in Percy's version of the game. But anyways, we see the Blue Eyes player going off over here. He's going to go ahead and bounce back the Bloods. He was looking for a burst stream of destruction over here, but it wasn't going to happen. The guy's like, dude, I just quit. He quit on him because he can just obviously bounce back the cards with a Silk's effect over here. But anyways, that was just a kind of a quick play. I think the guy didn't really know what he was doing against that deck. Now, we have up against Fluffles. Now, since they are all spellcasters, a really good card in this deck is Secret Village of the Spellcasters, which can completely just blow your opponent out of the water. It's kind of like an auto win condition. But here's the card that I wanted to really talk about. I feel like this is the key card in the deck. Everything that gets things going is pretty much Meluseek over here. So it can attack directly, but when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you get to target one card your opponent controls, and then you get to send it to the graveyard. That's actually a really good effect. But anyways, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to add an Altergiest monster from your deck to your hand. We have a few support cards for the archetype. Now, Secret Village is a really good card against so many decks, especially against Fluffles. Since everything was in defense mode, he's able to now attack and kind of send stuff to the graveyard. Now, with the sheep, this sheep will still come back because it has an ability to reoccur itself. But the Marionetta over here, Marinara Sauce. Anyways, her effect over here is when she is normal summoned, you get to set an Altergeist trap directly from your deck. And then you can target an Altergeist card you control and an Altergeist monster in your graveyard. You send that card from the field to the graveyard. If you do, you get to special summon that monster. So basically, it's kind of like a monster reborn for the Altergeist. But a lot of the deck relies off of the trap cards. So we have Protocol, which makes it so the activation and effects of the Altergeist cards you control cannot be negated. And then when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can send one other face-up Altergeist card you control to the graveyard, and you get to negate the activation and destroy it. And we'll go into the other support for the deck, but the other monster, the Altergeist Kunteri over here, has the ability to special summon itself when your opponent's monster declares an attack and you control an Altergeist card. Like I said, you get to special summon it, and then you get to negate the attack, and in addition to its okay defense points, which is 2400, if this face-up card is special summoned, you get to target one face-up card your opponent controls, and while this monster is face-up on the field, you get to negate that face-up card's effect forever. As long as he's up on board. But nonetheless, the bird over here, he's definitely a really great card in the archetype as well. So the bird guy over here, he has the ability to return an Altergeist card you control to the hand, then target one card your opponent controls and bounce it back to the hand. So that can be activated during either player's turn because it is a quick effect. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to target an Altergeist trap in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. So as far as like making plays in the deck, like I said, there is a Link card for the archetype, but at the moment, again, since we're on Percy's Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, no one can make it yet. But that will be in the future. We'll make it definitely to support Ema Ema, which is the person in the anime that is actually running this archetype. But I think the archetype is okay. I don't think it's really strong right now, because right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think you need to be very, very aggressive. This could definitely be a deck that you can use, that struggling battle card where you get to banish your opponent's entire stuff face down. That maybe this could be an archetype that can really utilize this, because this definitely is an archetype that is a little bit slower. And if your opponent makes a huge board and you have to try to break that board, this can be a little bit difficult, because Mellow Seek can only get rid of one card. And then after that, I don't really know. I guess you can technically bounce back cards. But again, the deck is relatively slow. But running cards like Lose One Turn can definitely be a great addition to the deck. Now, we got it up against the Legendary Fisherman, which that deck definitely relies off of field spells. So if you're able to activate Secret Village, you can absolutely blow it out of the water. And in addition to that, we're going to be seeing off the Quintari's effect and how good it is against this deck, because negating a Legendary Ocean or Umi can completely just beat this deck, because that's kind of how this deck runs. But anyways, while Umi's on the field, this card is unaffected by monster effects, and that's going to be important later on, as you guys will see. But yeah, the whole Legendary Fisherman deck, it relies super off of Umi. Some of the cards can count as Umi, which we'll get into later on, but you can see he's going for a lot of chains over here. But anyways, we went over Protocol, which is the one where it makes it so the Altergeist monsters, Altergeist cards cannot be negated. And then on top of that, we have the Camouflage, which makes it so you target an Altergeist monster, you equip it to it, so it cannot be targeted for attacks. So your opponent attacks you directly, so it keeps your Altergeist monsters out on board. And then when an opponent's monster effect that targets the equipped monster resolves, negate the effect. And that's pretty good. And then if an Altergeist card or cards you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you get to banish it from your graveyard. So Camouflage, pretty good. And then Protocol was the one where it can actually negate an effect. And then also it makes it so your stuff cannot be negated. So that's pretty good. Depends on some of the other cards that we get for this archetype. But I think as of right now it's too early. But this definitely could be a really insane archetype. I mean, your activation and effects of Altergeist cards can't be negated. And then on top of that, you have the ability to negate something your opponent does. That's pretty good. And then cards like Gaga Shield can kind of protect your cards. So this will protect the Silky Toss over here, so you can keep on bouncing back cards without fear of you losing the Silky Toss. But obviously there can be some problems with Kaijus. But I don't think this deck heavily invests into like a one-card plays. It's not like you have to protect this one card. But the archetype definitely revolves around, I would say, like a slower playstyle. Bouncing back cards, attacking them directly for some small amount, and getting rid of some cards. But now we have double Gaga Shields, and this card is just really annoying. It's definitely a card that you don't want to run into if you have like one option to get rid of a card. But I think this deck could be good against certain decks that rely off of like one specific card. Like if their whole idea is to make one card and protect the card as hard as possible, this could definitely be a great archetype for it, because you can just bounce it back or attack them directly and just send that card to the graveyard with like some small monster like where is he? Oh, he's not even out on board yet. But the guy that attacks directly, and then he can send one card to the graveyard. But now with Skill Drain, all of his effects are needed. But with Protocol activated, it's going to prevent Skill Drain from his side of the board. So I think that that's actually a pretty good effect. So you could run Skill Drain in the deck and then protect your monsters, because they can't be negated. It's not even by opponent's card effects, it's just they cannot be negated, period. So that could be actually kind of dirty to run Skill Drain in the deck, and basically you have a one-sided Skill Drain. I mean, I think this card's still at 1 in the TCG, but who knows? If it comes back to 3, maybe this could be a really nasty deck to run triple Skill Drain in. But he's activating the C Stealth attack, and then he's going to be bouncing that back anyways. But he's also got the Forgotten Temple of the Deep, which actually counts as Umi, so it kind of helps his support. But because the Legendary Ocean is negated, he can't reduce the levels of his monsters by 1, and he can't place another field spell because Secret Village is out on board. I feel like this archetype, it can definitely do some stuff against some like lower tier decks, but against most of the meta, I think it's just going to be outclassed as of right now. But maybe in the anime show, they'll make something crazy. You guys know that they always come out with crazy broken anime cards. That sometimes we get watered down effect ones, but we do have an anime duel in this using broken anime cards, but we'll get into that in a minute, boys. But anyways, Gaga Shield is just, it's a really annoying card to run into. Like I said, sometimes like you just can't do anything. Now everything is in defense mode, you can just keep on bouncing back things There is also a card called Tornado Wall. Well, while you have Umi, you don't actually take any battle damage, so he's preventing himself from taking battle damage, and he's got defense for days with the Gaga shield over here. We see Pot of Desires activated. His opponent's like, yo, I lose here, because at this point he can just attack him, because yeah, he got no monsters. With no monsters left on the field, unfortunately, no dark magicians right there. But anyways, we got an anime duel over here. Again, this is using, the cards are not legal over here. This is an anime card called Wonder Quartet. But it was technically replaced by the Secret Village over here. But this is an anime card. It rolls dice. I know we can't read the full effect. Well, I guess I can technically read the full effect because I can scroll down over here, but my face is blocking it. It's got a huge effect. So during either player's turn, you get to roll a dice. It has different effects. So if you roll a 1 or 6, you add 1 random action card from your deck to your hand. If you don't control an action card, and the card added is a trap card, you get to activate it immediately. These are cards, again, guys, that are anime cards. But there's also a card, Great Escape, which is another anime card that just says end the battle phase. But nonetheless, Wonder Quartet over here. So if you roll a 3 or a 4, you get to negate the result and re-roll it. If you get a 5 or a 6, you add a random action card to your opponent's hand. And then same thing with the trap. If it's a trap, you activate it immediately. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this is an anime effect. But there's also, where's that? Hold on, I want to go over this card. This card, I don't know why this isn't like an anime card, but Flame Ball, it inflicts 200 damage, but it's a quick play. Better than Sparks, because that card isn't a quick play. But this guy is running the anime Time Lords, Z1 over here. The anime Time Lords, I feel like they're not as good as the other ones. Now, he did have a card that he could special summon all of them. So you send 1 face-up non-existent card you control to the graveyard, and you can just special summon all the Time Lords. Now, there's 2 problems here. Melusi got rid of that card, and then in addition to that, Jaugen says no special summoning, and then on top of that, he got Secret Village. So the guy that was playing the anime Time Lords, he can't do anything over you. Jaugen's saying no to special summoning the Time Lords, because the anime Time Lords, yeah, you could special summon them. There's also another card that special summons the Time Lords, but this guy was playing the anime Time Lords, probably cameo from the show, but that is the guy couldn't even play. Jaugen, he's a pretty good card, but nonetheless, guys, that was the showcasing off of Ema's deck from the V-Reigns anime. Pretty cool looking deck, but I think it's kind of too new to really say if it's going to be meta or not. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below. But let me know if you guys like these anime duels. If you guys got any cool anime inspired decks, I would love to see them. Send in the replay files to azneyesreplay@gmail.com, because I think a lot of you guys like this. If you guys like these type of videos, let me know. Drop a like on it, and I'll know that you guys like these anime inspired decks, because sometimes it's kind of cool to see what they do in the anime and use cards that aren't the most meta, but it's just fun to see people making decks around some of the characters from the anime, and obviously this guy playing the Z1 over here, playing the Time Lords. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime replays and as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. But thanks for watching, and I'm out.